everyone. So this is our next segment of our Master Inventor interview series, and today I have a very special guest, Kelvin Sito.
Hello everyone.
Yeah,
Hey.
and Kelvin Sito, right, is in terms of as an investor, right, he has one of the best results that I've ever experienced. Right, I've read his story, and he's now the founder of what I call the Growth Investing Mastery Program. So it helps students to identify stocks that are of very high growth potential, and he managed to get like lots of returns from it. He could share with you a lot more later. But before that, so yeah, thanks Kelvin for coming to the show.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. So maybe before we begin, right, just want to share a bit of your story and how do you get to where you are, and just a bit of intro to our audience here.
Hey everyone, this is Kelvin here. So I've created this company called 10x Capital. We run this course called Growth Investing Mastery. What was the motivation behind all this? It's really my experience in investing. Invested probably close to 8 years right now. Obviously, I've kind of gone through a lot of speed bumps before I could finally figure out a formula that worked. And I always realized something, right? When I was young, when I started out investing, there was no one that was out there to really help me out. And I just felt so lost, and I kind of bummed around for 2 years. And frankly speaking, I didn't do well, okay? Frankly speaking, I didn't do well. But it only came to a later point of time where I started to do really, really well. And occasionally when I speak to many people, because I love to teach and I love to share, occasionally when I get to meet a lot of people, I get to see in them a bit of me, right? What I mean by that, when I see them, being clueless, being in the space where they needed a lot of guidance, I saw that was the younger me. So that kind of tell me something, right? I probably should do something for them. But I didn't start my course like that, and in fact I could say that I was an accidental entrepreneur. Okay.
Yeah.
So I left my previous company. I was traveling around the world for a few months, and I just came back to Singapore. And as a millennial, I use Instagram a lot, and I started to get a lot of direct messages from people that I know, people that I do not know, and they asked me if I was able to coach them in investing. I say sure, right? But what happened later on was something that's a bit shocking to me, because with all these kind of requests coming in, I started to spend a lot of time in the evening teaching people Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. But guess what? I'm teaching the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
And one day I went home and I was just feeling so frustrated, also exhausted. Just sat on the sofa and tell myself, this cannot be. Just sharing my friends, and my friends say I probably should start a course that maybe cater to a smaller group, like 30 to 35 people. Actually, I didn't really thought that it would be successful anyway, right? Because if I'm good at it as an investor, doesn't mean I'm good as an entrepreneur. So I have that humility to actually be aware of that. Nonetheless, with a lot of pushing, this thing started. And I guess once this thing starts, we have a responsibility towards our community to want to do well, and hence 1 year on, here we are. So I think I'm pretty proud of what we have achieved so far. But I guess gotta continue to work hard and not stay complacent.
Yeah, well, thanks for the very comprehensive story, and there's so many questions I could pick up just based on what you shared. Okay. So I think back to the first thing that you shared, right? Because you started investing and you didn't do well for the first 2 years, right? So what made you be like, okay, I never did well for these 2 years, but I feel like there's still a lot more potential. I feel like this is just me maybe not learning. Like, what was your thought process then to make you want to continue investing?
Well, I guess the fact is that growing up, of course, we know that stocks are risky, right? People tell us about that. My mom, my dad, anyone you could imagine easily, right? But thinking about it, growing up, I used to read a lot of magazine, and I say, hey, these guys are actually very wealthy through investing, right? They didn't do anything, they did investing, and they became really wealthy. So I guess why the same thing, right? It's stock investing, but why do one get result and one do not get result? I realized, I realized I had to find out what was it, and I explored, and I realized actually it's about knowledge. It's about not having the right processes in the head. And I guess when I was really young, I think who we are as a person usually gets shaped by our life experiences. When I was young, I was pretty cocky. I used to get a lot of wonderful grades in primary school. That caused me to not want to study, and I thought that I could just breeze through PSLE and get to Express. And when the results came out, I didn't qualify for Express. In fact, I had nowhere to go. I just had normal academic, and that was like the first time I faced defeat, right? Like in my life. I wouldn't call it a defeat, but I was just really upset. I didn't really want to talk to anyone after that. I felt really ashamed. I feel very embarrassed. While all my good friends are all going to Express, but here I am going to normal academic. And when I went to normal academic, I always felt like the underdog here, right? So we have people from Express, and I guess coming from a boys' school as well, sometimes there'll be a bit of a challenge. Like sometimes, hey, people from the express stream will look down on the people from normal academic. So I kind of like struggled with that, and I went through with that like for 5 years. But what I know is that at the end of the day, you know, my confidence doesn't come from those you know, bragging kind, those very loud kind, but it's this quiet, self-assured feeling inside myself. And throughout the years, growing up, I take on a lot of challenges, and I managed to achieve them as well. Even seemingly difficult ones, I do take on it because I want to just push where my limits are. So naturally, this is what I am, right? I'm here trying to really do my best, and even though there's difficulties, let's say, when you talk about investing, I do feel that it's just a matter of time whether you get the results. But I think more critically is that, you know, when I don't get the result, what I do with it, right? Do I continue believing that what I was doing is right? Do I really go out there to get more guidance? Not just for one person, but two person. And also, I guess what helped was growing up, I was trained to be very thick-skinned as well. I was on forums trying to do a lot of things. So to cut the answer short, I would feel that my life experiences have helped me in a way. So looking back, even though I spent an additional year in secondary school, but that actually created a lot of experiences that have actually gave me that edge to achieve what I achieved today.
Yeah, so like that's a very wonderful sharing, right? And whatever you share, right, I can thought of two big things. So I think firstly is you had the desire from the start, right, to really just do something more than whatever you were doing then. And then secondly, right, is that belief that no matter what I might fail now, that somehow, some way I'm going to learn from those successful people and I will do it. And that's why even though you might fail, you might get like, I don't know, laughed at and whatnot, but you still kept going. I feel like these two things combined, right, make for a very powerful experience for you. Is what you did now.
And I think that you know, all of us have a superhero in our heart, right? So growing up, of course, all of us idolize like Iron Man in a way. So you see Iron Man as a character have gone through a lot of problems in his life, but yet he was still able to break through, always you know, persisting and try to become a better person for the world, for the Avengers.
So like we talk about the superhero journey, right? So I mean, you failed for that 2 years, you didn't do very well, and after that, so what changed? Like, do you go for a workshop? Do you like go for a course, or like do you like read a book that really changed your life? Like, how did that journey switch for you?
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is this, right? Kind of went through some of like very bad struggles in my life. But I guess I just always found out that, you know, no one's going to help me. You know, here I am as a person, I just got to help myself. So I pick up a lot of self-development books. I think critically as well is to think about those books and trying to implement it. So for me, very early on, I actually went through a course to really learn how to read. Exactly, correct. So the book, right, we will always underline words and then scribble notes, you know. So this is like your thought processes. So every single time when I pick up something from the book, I would ask myself, how implementable is this, right? Can I actually use this? And I like to test what I've learned in books. So I kept doing that, I think, continuously over time. And I was just pretty much geared towards growth as well. But I would also say partially due to religion as well. I think God has blessed me tremendously, even though at times I think that I'm undeserving. I guess well, people would say that I'm probably very blessed or smart, but I think sometimes could be luck and could be some blessings as well.
That over time, and somehow one way or another, you manage to become a lot more successful after implementing, after learning, and trials and whatnot.
I mean, to really break it down very simply, I think self-reflection helps a lot, and being self-aware. Just give you a scenario here. Back then, when I was in secondary school, I was really very obedient. And being very obedient, got asked to be a class monitor. Couldn't speak really well. Had to struggle a lot, and very embarrassing. I couldn't stand myself being bad at public speaking. So during poly, I forced myself to take up a public speaking module, and I excelled in it. So I think over the years, I just really looked through my life and asked myself, what are the skill sets that I lack? You know, and you know, like, how could I actually fill this gap? You know. So I think it's really important. Like, I mean, for the viewers out there, today you look at your life, what are things that you're not happy about? If you're not happy about something, you know, why not change it? Why not improve it? And that was my life journey for the last 10 to 12 years.
10 to 12 years. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
long time right,
Very
since
long
it has
time,
happened. So a lot of life experience there.
Correct.
Yeah. So now moving on more to the topic of investing, right? So Kelvin together with Jonathan, right, the other co-founder of 10x Capital, they've launched this book called Circle of Competence, and there you share some of your experiences and stories about your investing journey, right? So at least for some of the viewers out there that might be very new to investing or still not so sure whether they should start, do you have any like specific stories you'd like to share with them that hey, actually investing, it might be scary when you start out, but actually there's a lot of things that you can take out from it.
So when I was really young, I just wanted to make as much money as possible. And I was just really working hard at Fish & Co. and doing a lot of stuff out there, joining contests, doing all sorts of things just to make money. And I guess in life is like taking a leap of faith, right? Like for example, taking an elevator for instance, right? Why there's even a possibility that the elevator or lift would actually break down, but you still believe in it. And for me, I think the best way to really overcome it, to say, hey, investing is not dangerous, it's not risky. It's really surrounding yourself with a lot of capable people, people who have done investing for a number of years, and I think going out there, hearing their stories and feeling how it is like investing, and I think here's the big problem that I face, and sometimes I feel it's very frustrating as well. People say that investing is risky and you just stop doing it entirely, right? So I think that's a wrong thinking, and I think that thinking will actually bring you a step backwards. But if you think that in this world many people have made their wealth and also retired very early through stock investing, and if you think that is somehow a half truth, why don't take a small money that you have, right, and start investing anyway? Put a money that you can afford to lose and invest it anyway. And when I talk about money you can afford to lose, doesn't mean you just invest like that, but really going out there, surrounding yourself with the best minds and asking them what are they investing, and try it out for yourself. Because I think nothing beats seeing, right? Seeing is believing. Back then, what actually cemented my idea, whereby I told myself, hey, investing is the way to go. When I was really young, back in Temasek Poly, I studied business, and I tell you a story is that I always wanted to be the top, because being the top feels good.
Yeah,
just having like some ego stuff, right? And also I knew I wanted to go to university eventually. As I fought through the semesters, right, I realized that I could never seem to win the person that's always at the top. Alright, she is a lady, right? So every semester we're in the same course, studying the same module, but somehow she's always at the top. And I was so frustrated that I told myself, this is a game that I cannot play with her, right? In academics, she's definitely like way better than me. But I wondered to myself, like the things that I'm learning in school, right? Let's say we talk about fundamental analysis, analyzing the profitability margin, stuff like that. Can it really work? Is it true? Is it just theory, right? Can I go out there and test it out? And I actually went there. I went out and tested it. So I just spent about $1,600 buying this first company called Hub Steel. And I guess I was pretty lucky, because 2 weeks after that, the share price actually rose by 16%. I made like I think a couple of $100. And to me, I was like, wow, I still remember those days where I was working at Fish & Co. earning $7 per hour. But here I am using some of the knowledge that I acquired and making $400 just like that. So that changed the entire game for me, right? Seeing the first fruit and saying that, hey, if this something works, I'll double my effort, I'll triple my effort, I'll go all in and make sure that I master this skill set.
Yeah, like wow, the story was like crazy. Right? I mean, like because a lot of people, I'm sure like in Asia they focus a lot on academics and all, but you were the one that managed to apply what you learned through your academics and managed to get your profit, which is way more than what you earned in the past. And earlier, what you said, right? I think what I feel that is you always want to surround yourself with people that have already achieved what you want, and I feel that that's a very important lesson, right? Like if you're afraid, you are not so sure whether you can surround yourself with people, go join communities and whatnot, and together, right? The possibility, the odds of you succeeding is going to be way higher, because you get to learn from them and you get to find ideas that you might not be able to get yourself.
I mean, just one point to add, right? Like when I started investing, I wasn't really a very bright person here, and like what I mentioned earlier on, like 2 years out, I think I was bumping around, not having really great results. And it was really through the most generous and really humble people that came to my life, decided to help me out, not for profit, and really just out there to help people. So I guess that wouldn't have been possible if I was really shy about it. I was very vocal about it, I told people I want to learn, I pester people, I private message people on forums, stuff like that. So I guess if you want to get to where you are, you cannot remain silent.
Yeah.
You have to vocalize it out,
Yeah.
share it on Facebook, ask people who could actually help you.
Mm.
And I guess the universe works in many wonderful, mysterious ways as well, right? The more you say it, the more it will happen.
Yeah.
So really, I think a tip out there is really
Yeah.
being very vocal and being very open about your intention, right? Your intention is to be a good investor out there. Tell people, and the resources will come to you somehow, right?
Somehow or another,
Exactly.
yeah. So if you want to be a better investor, right, just find Kelvin, go to his blog, DM him, right? I'm sure he will help you out for that. Yeah. So then moving on to the next question. So some people say, okay, I want to learn about investing. I'm going to invest in a course or a workshop, like for example yourself.
Yeah, okay.
And I want to learn. So my observations, right, which I'm sure you have observed to some extent, is that different people can attend the same exact course, right? Go for the same exact seminar, workshop, whatever is it, investing, self-development and whatnot. But they can achieve drastically different results, right? Some of them might be stuck even after 5 years from attending a course, while some of them might already achieve financial freedom or whatnot. So in your own observations, right, what are some of the differences in like the traits, characteristics, or some actions they take that can differentiate from a successful student compared to a one that might be not so, might be a bit more average or not so as good as he wants?
Okay, I think that question requires some thinking. But from my point of view, it's really I think how they feel about it, because probably many people join courses for different reasons.
Yep.
I think one of the key thing that we want to say here is the big why, right? Like, why are you
Why?
even in this course? What do you want to achieve? You know, obviously I've ran like 5 programs so far.
Okay.
But I would say probably 60 to 70% of people really stay back and kind of like go through with us the mentorship, right? But how about the rest, right? Do I actually blame them? I say probably not, because probably they are not as interested. Probably they don't really they probably partially believe in stock investing, but
Okay.
I think in terms of achieving a different result, I think it comes to your belief systems, right?
Okay.
Is that I probably have attended like several courses as well, but sometimes I still remain a skeptic here,
Okay.
right? On the other hand, I became a total believer of certain things. So for me, that was investing. So I guess really, it really boils down to simple things like what's your why, and also sometimes do you feel skeptic? Even after attending course, sometimes people still feel skeptical about it.
Okay.
They feel a lot of questions, problems about it as well. But I guess sometimes it's also I wouldn't blame like Singapore the way we are being
Raised and all. Yeah.
being raised, but I think it's the fact that we hate to ask questions. We feel that we'll look silly about it.
Yeah.
So I guess if you look back in you look at other countries like US, like Vietnam, people actually pay money. It's actually painful for them, right? And they want to have higher chance of succeeding in life. I think we have this notion whereby in Singapore a lot of times we are kind of like protected. We will not go hungry, we will not die, that sort of stuff. But in certain countries, I think people have this higher sense of desire to want to succeed.
Okay.
So it's I think a question that's a bit hard to answer, but there are all sorts of scenarios out there. But ultimately, it's your desire that really
so
matters.
You feel that it boils all the way down to desire, because once you have a high enough desire, I'll ask questions, I'll do whatever it takes, I'll just go out, I'll start pestering you
Yeah,
or
exactly.
someone else just to get. So, because I do have some friends or like people around me that say like, hey Mark, like I want to invest, I really want to, but how come somehow one way or another I can't get the results that I want, or like somehow I don't still feel motivated? So what might be some of your tips for these people? Because I feel that they do have desire, but it's just that somehow like they still don't take the action that they need to achieve the results that they want. Yeah.
So for your friends, right?
Yeah.
So they have totally no problems with investing, just that they don't get the results they want.
Yeah, so it's not so much of skeptical, I think. It's because I think a lot of, for example, like some of them might be in business school or they know people that have already invested and achieve results, but they just be like, oh, I just can't be consistent. So just like some of your tips or like thoughts about like this group of people that, yes, I know investing is good, I do have the desire, right, but how come I still can't get the results that others are having? Yeah.
Okay. So see, I think there's multiple like aspect to this question. A lot of times we tell ourselves we want consistent result. But a lot of times we ask ourselves, are we there yet? Because why? If you have been investing for like 1 year, 2 years, you tell yourself you want a consistent result. I would say that if you can do that, right, you're probably like top 5, like really way high, way higher than anyone. So But if you tell yourself if you have been like investing for like 5-6 years and you can't get consistent result, then that's a problem.
Okay.
So again, I would say don't be impatient. Be patient with yourself. When you're telling yourself you're first year investing, second year investing, yeah, that's probably fine because you're building experience, you're building your experience in investing in stocks, and as you accumulate more experience, there's something called muscle memory, whereby you know certain stocks are definitely things that you should not be investing in. There are certain stocks which are stocks that you ought to put your money into. So I guess it's the point of reference, right? If I'm comparing with people that is like first year or second year investing, yeah, I mean probably that's pretty normal. But if you tell yourself that you compare yourself with people that are like 5 years, 6 years out investing, then that's gonna be a problem. So again, let's say if I'm talking about, hey, I'm investing for 4 to 5 years, I'm not gonna get good results. Again, it kind of like boils down to one of the things that I mentioned earlier. Is actually do you actually even reflect, right?
Reflection, yeah.
Because I know it's just such a hard topic to talk about because in Singapore we're just like doing. And what's the next thing we want to do, right? But I guess obviously there's a lot of like benefits of people advocating a meditation, reflection, this like that. Kind of like spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes and just review what are you doing right now, and when you have been like perhaps making profits, what do you do, right? And then when you're making losses, what do you do, right? And slowly you kind of like reflect back on your own behavior. And I think when it comes to learning about investing, it's really not so much about like how do you calculate those ratios, stuff like that. It really comes down to the behavior, right? So for example, there are people who could be expert, good investors here. But sometimes they say, they see this company called Beyond Meat or Uber, they just listed, everyone is buying into it. But somehow, everything about what they have learned so far have vanished totally, and they're just like, okay, I need to buy Uber, I need to buy Beyond Meat, and that's the thing, right? People sometimes have this fear of missing out and all these issues that come along with it as well. So I think really, my short answer is really, I think probably got to reflect. Sounds a bit harsh, but I can tell you it's really beneficial. So what are some successful investors are doing? I think some of my friends who are doing it as well is to keep a journal, right? So like why do you do this? Why do you buy this stock here and there? And I think having a journal not just in investing but your personal life as well cause you to reflect a lot more, and I think that overall should produce a better result like over time.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a very powerful lesson, right? So like when it comes to investing, people just think sometimes you just have to like analyze the best ratios and whatnot. But when you say like reviewing your trades, reviewing your history, right, and then seeing how you can improve, right, I think that's a very powerful lesson because I feel like people don't speak about it enough. Because I do know that successful traders, successful investors do it as well. And I feel like that could be a very powerful lesson if you review yourself. So like for yourself, how often do you review? Or do you do every trade you do, you will tend to review, or you write like at least some reasons on why you invest? On a more tactical level.
Okay, so I don't really write it down. But now it's really a very mental thing. It's
because your muscle is so strong,
it's
right?
my head, and quite frankly speaking, my first job, right, like what I say, I work in Fish & Co. I'm earning about $7 per hour, and obviously right now my portfolio is of a bigger size as well, and sometimes I think in the past I used to lose like even up to 50k, 60k, that kind of like huge amount as well. And so pain is powerful, right? Because pain creates progress. Because when you feel pain about something, you really want to reflect hard about it. You don't want to make it happen again. So whenever I make mistakes, I think I do really reflect very, very hard about it. So I think because you reflect about it, in your mind, it's being registered. So next time when you like almost gonna buy that stock that had similar patterns, similar problems with the company, you tend to not to buy it. So I think like people, we heard about something, right? Like people will not remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel, right? So again, pain is an emotion, and pain will definitely register things in your mind to make you know that you should not be investing this way. You should kind of like invest in the right way. So pain, I think, is a very painful.
Yeah. So if you have any pain, right, to like use that as the one to drive you to get what you want, because like it is a very powerful emotion, I would imagine.
But still, I think still do a journal. I think that's very, very helpful.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So that brings on to my next question, right? So like I like to ask all my guests is like, what do you think are some of the biggest regrets you have made, like in terms of journey? So not in terms of I don't regret anything because I learned from it. Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the, like, the biggest mistakes or some of the biggest regrets you might have in your journey thus far? So all the way from starting out investing, and all the way to now, like launching 10x Capital and all.
Oh, okay. So sometimes I look back, would I have made a wiser choice if I would just study better during PSLE? But then
Okay, that's way bad.
I would have gone to like Express, and I think that my life would have been different. But I think that a
Yeah.
mistake created that kind of like
Yeah.
journey for me as well.
So sorry, add on a bit because like I feel that, I mean the fact that you didn't study and you went to normal academy created the experiences that got you to where you are today.
Exactly.
So like in terms of regret, like really I feel that it was because of that pain, right? Like you said, that got you because you started like saying I need to do more things, I need to like create that great desire, and I felt that might be why like that has actually caused you to be where you are today.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think in terms of investments, right? So
Oh yeah, investment. Yeah.
about investments, right? Okay. So this story that maybe I've not really shared in front of like camera.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna be I think a story that maybe you all would relate as well. For me, my investment style is not diversified. I think if you find a good opportunity and you done your due diligence, you definitely want to like load it up like heavily, right? So it really goes against what most people are teaching out there, but this has really created tremendous results for me as well. But I think when it comes to investing, just want to share you a story that gives you a bit of context to what I'm about to share as well. So all of us know that Walmart is a supermarket that's being based in United States, and back then in the 80s or 70s, it has been growing really, really well. And you know the many cashiers that were doing simple jobs, that was earning simple salaries, have actually became millionaires. Okay, but why? Because they knew that the company was telling them that stores was opening. Many stores were opening. The bosses tell them that, hey, hold on to your shares because being an employee that entitles you to some of the shares in the company as well. But there's still a majority of the cashiers, saw that they made about 40% on their stock, 60% of the stock, and they sold out totally. You know, they just feel happy about that.
60% ROI.
Yeah, even the fact that they still know that the best days of Walmart is still ahead of them, but yet they couldn't resist locking in the profits.
Okay.
For me back then was that I think about 3 to 4 years ago, there's this company called Hype International. I bought the company. It was one of my biggest position. At the point of time when I sold the company, cumulatively that position when I sold, the proceeds was about $426,000 thereabouts. But 3 months later, the share price doubled.
Oh wow.
Okay, so effectively, what that means, right? Because I could have earned another 426K, and talking about that, that could actually easily afford a 3-room or 4-room HDB, full flat, paid in cash, right?
Yeah.
And then I could rent out and then have my passive income, and just go away, right?
Yeah.
And as I spoke to my friend about my story, it's actually not unusual. Like around the world, there's so many people that knew that this company is a company that's special, that's unique, and this company would go on to do very, very well. But somehow or rather, I think that kind of greed, that kind of short-term thinking, caused them to lock in their profits like way earlier. And also, I just want to share, like I have a friend that could have been a millionaire if he did not sell one stock that he held in like 8 years ago.
Oh wow.
But now, because he didn't really do his work well, I mean he was a bit short-term thinking. Very similar to me. Right now he's still working for someone. But he could have been a millionaire. So
if he just held on to that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what's the lesson here, right? Of course, this opportunity loss of 426K, is it very painful for me? I think I kind of took like 3 months to recover from that. Okay.
The pain.
I
imagine.
I took 3 months to recover from that because I mean, not trying to sound like a bit cocky here, but that amount, if I could have gotten it, I could grow that money 20% every year, and that's like a lot more money that I've lost. So I think what's the lesson here is that I've learned to be more long-term thinking. I learned to recognize that there are not many exceptional companies in the whole wide world. I mean, if you talk about the top-end investors, right? They would typically not be interested in like 95% of the companies that are listed. They only want to go for the best, right? So best not in terms of size, but in terms of quality, in terms of growth potential as well. So if you just happen to chance upon one and then you believe fully into it, right? My suggestion and what was my reflection is that you hold on to it, and as long as the company is delivering, growing its potential for you, just keep it, right? again, people who bought Apple, if they held on throughout, they would
Yeah.
have been a millionaire or even multi-millionaire.
Yeah. Right now.
I think it's a very common occurrence in humans' emotions. So I think you got to put the emotion aside and really think logically. Investing is really logical. So just cut away all the emotions.
All the emotions are
Yeah,
just take it away.
that really is my biggest investing mistake.
Yeah,
And obviously, if you could give me a time machine today, you name me any price. You know, if it's below 400K,
You will just go and
yeah, I'll just go ahead. You know, my life could have turned out quite differently.
okay.
But I guess going through the experience have also made me reflect a lot and made me who I am. And
And you
you
make
know,
sure that it doesn't happen and the
yeah, so I think the next 30, 40 years will be a lot much better
Yeah.
than that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So thanks for sharing that lesson, right? I think it's a very powerful lesson. Like if you're watching this, if you like it, right, remember to thank him for sharing that story, right? Because I mean, like it's definitely like painful, right, to lose
Yeah.
that potential amount of money. Okay, so then moving on to my last question, right? So it's not so much investing. This is just more from personally what will
Yeah.
you do. So imagine you lost everything today, right? So not just the 426,000, but everything like your investment returns and whatnot, and you had to start from scratch. So you go to a new city, you don't know anyone, you lost all your reputation, your networks, your resources, and with just what you know right now, right? So let's say even take away the investment knowledge, okay? So what would you do, right, in the first 30 days, right, to not only bounce back to where you are but beyond? So how will you try to get back to your to where you are right now?
So
Yeah.
even the investment knowledge.
Let's say
as well.
take out the investment knowledge. I just want to challenge a bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, I always tell people if I have my investment knowledge, you
Yeah.
strip me naked.
Yeah.
I know I'll still make a lot of money.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But now removing the investment knowledge.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess in life, I've seen many people who succeed, like very ordinary people succeed, and I can really tell like one of the most common things that how people succeed and also do very well in life is
Yeah.
just simply having this real genuine intention to connect with people.
Okay.
First and foremost, that is very important. And the second thing, once you have connected to people, think about how you can really value add to the people.
Value add to
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Again, this is what I've known about it, but you know, we always know about this saying, right? You get paid for solving problems. The bigger problems you solve,
The more
the more higher paid
you are.
you are, right? So I guess people in this world, from my experience,
Yeah.
they tend to be a bit skeptical of people just wanting to help
Yeah.
them for no reason.
Yeah.
It takes certain way to actually overcome that. But I think if a person is sincere to connect with one another,
Yep.
and also being sincere and also being persistent, because
Yeah.
sometimes in life things will be shoved
Yeah.
on at your face, right? So I think just very simply really connecting with people genuinely,
Yeah.
and second, go out there to help people with your heart, right? And the third thing is this, right? Always learn to acquire new skills, because today I think I could have gone another way, learned something else, not
Yeah.
investing.
Yeah.
But one thing that no one could take away usually is your mindset, right?
Yeah.
Your mindset. So, connect with people and value add to people, and just learn.
Yeah.
Just keep learning, and as you learn more,
Mm.
you know, the wealth is not from your material possession,
Yeah.
but the wealth is in your head.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
So if you have your wealth in your head, the skill sets that you have, you can help people. People value you more, and
Yeah.
guess what? They want to pay you more, right? And over time you become trustworthy. People feel that you are credible. They want to they will test you with small stuff,
Yeah.
and later on they give you the big stuff. And if every task you do you are dependable,
Yeah.
then I think you'll go to a space whereby obviously you'll be wealthy, because wealth is created by solving problems.
Yeah.
So as you're solving problems out there every day,
Yeah.
you'll be wealthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that sharing, right? And it really makes me feel that even if investment wasn't your specialty, right, whatever path you choose, right, you will still be wealthy and you'll still be successful. Like
Wealth is the mind.
it's in the mindset. Okay. So thank you so much for the interview. So any last words, like, how can my audience find you if they want to find out more about you or to pester you and whatnot?
So I guess what I have is that you can actually follow me on Instagram, because a lot of times I put up my content over there. Calveso, I think later.
I'll link it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
and also I kind of like prepared a guide called the Ultimate Investing. I also want to give it to all of you guys. I'll pass the link to my Mark.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So thank you so much for the interview, and we'll see you in our next round for our Master Inventor interview. See you.
Alright,
Bye.